Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to do this Human Torch Flame On effect from our Human Torch vs. Iceman video. This same effect was also used in our Tempest video 3 or 4 years ago. So it's super easy, it's super simple, do not be intimidated, and let's get into it. So on the day of the shoot, you're going to shoot your talent acting like an idiot in front of a green screen. Then you're going to remove the green screen and get a shot of the clean background that your talent is going to be in. So the first thing we're going to do is drop our footage into the project. Then we're going to find our clean plate and drag it under the footage of our talent on green screen. Then we're going to key out the green by applying a keyer and then adjust the settings so that we can clean up the key a little bit. The settings that you apply here are going to depend on your individual shot and the lighting conditions and how clean your green screen is. The cleaner your green screen and light, the better and easier this is going to be. Then you're going to mask out the edges of the green screen so that we just have me on a background looking pretty normal. Then we're going to duplicate the green screen layer. We're going to ignore the bottom copy for now and just focus on the top copy. The next thing we're going to do is apply a negative filter. This is going to invert the colors and make it look like the light, which in the scene is coming from above, is coming from below, which is going to sell the effect of me being on fire. Then on top of this, we're going to add a levels filter and crush the blacks a little bit. Next, we're going to add a hue and saturation filter and rotate it around 180 degrees to bring me back to my original colors before the inversion. On top of this, we'll add a colorize with black as red and white as yellow with low intensity, and then on top of that, add a tint with a kind of orange color, also with low intensity. Now I'm looking nice and fiery with my light coming from below and my colors orange. Now we're going to drag our cursor to the point at which we want the fire to affect on, and then split the top clip, and then delete the first half. So now we have me normal and then me fiery. Because we already masked out the green screen, if for some reason motion won't allow you to do multiple inverted masks, we're going to drag the top layer into its own group, and then apply a mask to the group itself. This mask is going to go around my chest area. We're going to make it nice and wavy and organic looking. Then we're going to skip a couple frames ahead to the point at which we want me to be fully flamed on and drag the edges of the mask around to engulf me. Now we're going to add some more little pick whip point things just to make it look more random and organic, and then adjust the keyframes to make it look fiery and make sure it doesn't just look like a cheap wipe effect. Then we're going to go into the settings and heavily increase the feather. Now we need to start adding actual fire. So I'm using torch assets from Action Essentials. Torch assets are great because the actual source of the fire is round and there's a lot of round points on your body. You don't have to use Action Essentials, any torch asset will do. So I'm putting these into add mode so that they look fiery and there's no weird black edge, and I'm just hand tracking them to whatever part of my body I'm sticking them to. Then I'm duplicating them, dragging the duplicate down the timeline a little bit so that it doesn't move identically to its source, and then going into the settings and resetting the keyframe parameters. Then you're going to resize it, stick it to another round part of your body, and do the same thing again. Make sure both of these torch assets are in the same group, and then just continue doing this until every roundish surface of your body is covered in a torch asset. So that means shoulders, hands, arms, head, stomach, man boobs, whatever. Go crazy. Have fun. Yay! You can also bring in new torch assets if you're bored of the way this one torch asset looks. Obviously you're going to be retiming it so that it doesn't look exactly the same, but if you want a different shaped flame, feel free to introduce other torch stock elements into the project. So now I want something to spice up this initial ignition, so I'm going to add a fireball asset. I'm going to resize it and put it into add mode, and then I'm going to retime it so that it explodes very quickly as I am initially igniting. Now that we have most of our assets in place, we're going to select the group that has the fire in it and add a levels effect to it. We're going to grab the middle little slider here and drag it towards the black to boost the gamma of all the fire assets. This is going to add realism because the room is relatively dark and so the fire should be bright by comparison. It's also going to make it more comic accurate since Johnny Storm's flame is yellow in the comics. This still doesn't quite feel flamey enough, so we're going to add just kind of a general fire asset to my body. It's going to be coming from below the frame, and we're going to just resize it so it's sort of engulfing my torso. We're also going to have it start during the big fireball so that we can hide the point at which it affects in. We're then going to go into generators and add a lens flare. We're going to positioned at my chest, we're going to color it orange and we're going to scale it way up. Then I'm going to turn off everything that's not just the inner glow. This is going to allow the effect to bleed beyond my edges and kind of affect the surrounding area. It also just helps to make the flame look brighter. We're going to then duplicate this lens flare and put the second one up on my head, reset the keyframe parameters, duplicate it again, and put the other one coming from my kind of crotch area. All three of these are going to be keyframed to turn on very intensely during my ignition and then fade down to a more relaxed glow for the rest of the clip. Last of all, I'm going to drop in an instance of slow sparks and put it into add mode. This is going to make the ignition look more messy and organic and fiery and less like a special effect. And there we have a simple, quick, and easy Johnny Storm effect in just 40 minutes. If you liked this video, you can like the video. If you want to see more like it, you can subscribe. And if there's a specific tutorial you'd like to see, leave it in the comments. I'm planning to put together some tutorials for the Iceman effects from the same video that this effect was from, so you can look forward to that. Other than that, thanks for watching.